fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, yeah, Game of Thrones, yeah, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones.
Welcome to Game of Thrones Chat, Season 5, Episode 13, Emmys! I'm Dan, and I'm unsullied. I have not read the books in the series Song of Ice and Fire by George R. R. Martin, but it's getting harder not to.
I'm Thomas, I'm double solid. I've read the books twice.
Okay, we're here to talk about the Emmy Awards.
Okay, so Game of Thrones won 12 different Emmy Awards.
12 Emmys, people. That's a lot of Emmys.
Yeah, that's great, and it's probably the nicest thing you can win for TV. So kudos. And why did they win so many?
And why didn't it win that many before?
Yeah, this was the worst season, right?
This was definitely the worst season and the most Emmys. And there are probably two reasons for that.
And?
The first is that the voting system has changed for the Emmys this year. Now it's much more wider public. It's much closer to what the public thinks. And the public loves Game of Thrones.
And then?
The other reason is that 3 other series has been taking the Emmys from Game of Thrones earlier years. And those were Breaking Bad, Homeland and Mad Men. And they are either off the air or now they're being punished for winning all those Emmys before. So now we can't have them winning and we have to take, what's this Game of Thrones things? Okay, they can.
Okay.
So let's go through the Emmys.
Yeah, I'm going to start with the stuff that I don't find that interesting and then work myself up to the stuff that I do find very interesting.
I will find them all interesting.
Okay, I dare you to find the first one. Outstanding sound editing for a series. Tim Kimmel and a bunch of other stuff for the episode Hard Home. You find that interesting?
Yeah, imagine you're standing there in the wildling town and you hear the dogs barking. Why are the dogs barking? And the dogs are barking fantastically because it's edited.
Okay, and you sure that's because of the editing and not for the second prize they won? Outstanding sound mixing for a series?
It was a mix of dog barks and it was outstanding. Okay, on to number 3.
Yeah, sure. Let's go for outstanding single camera picture editing for a drama series. Katie Weiland for Dance of Dragons episode.
Well, Dance of Dragons looked good. I don't know what single camera picture editing really is.
Means that the camera is not married.
Okay, so this single camera did great work.
Yes, and now it's engaged to be married.
Number 4.
Outstanding production design for a fantasy program. Deborah Riley and a bunch of other people for the episodes Hard Home and Unbowed, Unbent, Unbroken.
Yeah, I can see Hard Home with this fantastic place and the White Walkers and stuff.
Yeah.
But Unbowed, Unbent, Unbroken, that miserable episode. They had this amazing Spanish castle, but that was a real castle.
Yeah, so they're rewarding the people who built the castle in the medieval times.
Yeah, medieval Spaniards. Great work!
Okay, or maybe they did something to the castle, I don't know. I mean, it's not like they're allowed to change the castle very much, because it is a cultural treasure, so...
I feel that D&D are trolling us by submitting this episode to the Emmys. Because I think they only submitted certain episodes. There are 4 episodes that have received Emmys. And I think they were like, okay, everybody hates this episode. God, I hope it wasn't for the rape scene.
Production design. No.
Move on.
Okay, number 5 here. Outstanding makeup for a single camera series, Non-Prosthetic. Jane Walker and Nicola Matthews for Mother's Mercy.
Yeah, it must have been Cersei.
Cersei's makeup for that. Shame!
Oh, yeah.
That seems... so that was non-prosthetic then, apparently, that makeup. Okay, well...
Maybe that, the eye thing must have been prosthetic. Okay, move on.
I don't know. Okay, let's move on to the 6th one here. Outstanding stunt coordination for a series, Rowley Ireland.
And this is for the whole season.
Or the whole series, maybe. No, there must be the whole season.
It says for a series, but I think it is for the season.
Yeah.
Nice stunts, sword fights.
Riding horses.
Yeah, lots of things. Riding dragons.
Yeah. Also, they have a stunt woman to ride a dragon.
Do you think Emilia Clarke would go fly on a dragon?
I don't know. Can she? Well, she's been flying dragons since she was just a kid, so she does her own dragon
I can
stunts.
buy that they have some good stunt work in.
Do they have stunt
Game of
dragons also for the dangerous stuff?
Move on to number 7, please.
Okay, outstanding special visual effects. Steve Kalbach for the episode The Dance of Dragons.
Must have been the Flying Drogon.
Mm-hmm. That makes absolutely sense. What else could there? I mean, sure there could be other things also, but the dragon, I think that's really what.
Yeah, I heard that
the show.
they had no budget for that scene, and that they wanted to do like the dragon, just people looking at the dragon. You didn't see the dragon, but George R. R. Martin protested and said that he insisted that this scene had to be made, and they had to make it.
All right, good for him.
Yeah, it was an
Well
amazing
done.
scene, so thank you for that.
All right. Okay, let's move on to the 8th one here. Outstanding directing for a drama series. David Nutter for Mother's Mercy.
Yeah, that was some great directing. What an episode!
Yeah, for me it's often hard to see what is the director doing, what is the actors doing, what are they doing. But it was a great episode, so the director really has the overall responsibility for an episode, so it was a great episode, so let's say yes, good job.
Yes.
And well deserved. Okay, let's move on to now we're getting to some interesting stuff here, because outstanding casting for a drama series.
Ooh, yes.
Nina Gold and some other people. Yeah, we have talked about this before, how we love the casting for this show.
Yeah, of course I come in without having read the books, but you have read the books and you like the casting.
Absolutely. There are some exceptions, but mostly I just feel that they are just perfect.
What's the best casting in your opinion?
The best casting...
From season 5.
From season 5, but can I take characters that has been before? Yeah, I mean, for me, Jaime Lannister, played by Nikolai Coster-Waldau, I mean, he's just... I can't picture someone else. I mean, for me, he's Jaime Lannister.
Yep.
And so that's like, okay, he became exactly the way I wanted him to be.
Okay.
So, but there are many others who are great, like Emilia Clarke as Daenerys or Cersei. Lena Headey. But not only that, there's also in some cases you have different casting. Like you say, take Charles Dance as Tywin Lannister.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be bald and not look exactly like that he doesn't look exactly like that in the books. So they changed him, but they used this incredible actor Charles Dance, and when he comes into room, he just owns it.
He does.
I mean, you gotta love him. So
we miss you.
Exactly. Come back.
Bring Joffrey.
What's a crossbow bolt to the chest? So I just love him, even though he's not exactly the way he's supposed to be.
So what's the worst casting?
I don't know. When I saw Mark Addy playing Robert Baratheon, the first time I felt, this is not the Robert I pictured, because Robert Baratheon is supposed to be a beast of a man, like at least 6.5 feet tall. And when he was in his youth, he was maybe the strongest. Well, the Mountain was probably stronger, but one of the strongest men in all of Westeros.
No, I could buy that he used to be a great warrior, but he wasn't 6.5 foot.
No, he was way too short. But he's still, he's a good actor. He did this part well. It's just that he was too short. But I realized it's hard to find good actors that also are really, really big.
But now we left season 5.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, I left season 5. Oh, you mean Robert Baratheon? Oh, yeah, that's right. Something happened to him.
Okay, move on to number 10.
Because I could go on and on about the casting.
I bet you could.
Oh, let me just... I'll come back to someone else soon. Number 10, outstanding supporting actor in a drama series.
That's the big one.
Peter Dinklage as Tyrion Lannister.
It's the 3rd time, right?
Is it the
second?
At least second time. I do remember him.
He has won it before.
Yeah.
And he's been nominated before.
And he's pretty awesome.
He is pretty great.
And I say great casting again.
Yeah, but he doesn't look at all like the character in the book, right?
He is hideous in the books.
That would be hard to pull off.
Yeah, he has his hair is all weird, and he has big scraggly beard, and his eyes are different colors. And in the end of book 2, he gets his nose chopped off. So he's just hit even worse. It's funny though, in the TV series, he just gets a big scar in his face.
Yeah.
And then Cersei comes in and says, "Oh, I heard you got your nose chopped off." No. Like that's like a blink to the book readers. Like, oh, we don't want to chop, because people have been complaining that Peter Dinklage is just too good looking. He's like the Brad Pitt of dwarves.
And he is.
And he's also, not only that, but he's also a little bit too sympathetic. It's too easy to like him in the TV series, people say.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to like him.
Because he's a little bit meaner, a little bit sicker in the books, actually.
All right.
So it's not as easy to love, but I still think he does a great job.
We campaigned for him getting the Emmy last year, so we are happy.
Yeah, give him some Oscars and the Nobel Prize as well.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to number 11 here. Outstanding writing for a drama series by D&D, D.B. Weiss and David Benioff for Mother's Mercy.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
So, of course, George R. R. Martin, he wrote the books, but he does not write the TV series. He did used to write one episode for every season.
Yeah, and season 5 was the first season where he didn't do that.
Because he says he has to finish his books.
And that's a good idea.
Yeah, because he says it takes him a month to write one episode, even though he has the books beforehand. Still takes him a month to write one episode script. So I think that's time better spent on the books.
He can't write very fast.
No, but also the books are like 1,000 pages each, so it's...
But there's one more Emmy. What could be bigger than Best Actor and Best Writing?
It's Outstanding Drama Series.
Oh, that's a big one.
So Game of Thrones is the best drama series this year, they say.
I can only agree.
Absolutely.
Wow, 12 Emmys.
It's going to be hard to beat that next year.
I have a list here of stuff that was nominated that Game of Thrones actually did not win this year. Okay, these are the Emmys that Game of Thrones were nominated for but did not win. Okay, so these are the things that we did not win. Outstanding cinematography for a single camera series. There were 4 nominations for Hardhome, Sons of the Harpy, Dance of Dragons and Unbound and Bent Unbroken, and none of them won.
Okay.
Outstanding costumes for a fantasy series for Dance of Dragons. So there was another fantasy series that had even more outstanding costumes.
Wow.
Outstanding direction for a drama series. They did win for Mother's Mercy, but Unbound and Bent Unbroken was also nominated.
Okay.
And I think the right episode of season 5 won that. We have an outstanding guest actress in a drama series, and it was Diana Rigg as Lady Olenna Tyrell.
Queen of Thorns.
Yeah, and Google her name, Diana Rigg, and check out the pictures of when she was young, because she was hot.
Are you saying she's not hot anymore?
I didn't say that. I have respect for the elderly. Outstanding hairstyling for a single camera series. For Mother's Mercy. The hairstyle in Mother's Mercy, was that where they cut Cersei's hair?
The hairstyling. Yeah, that's really what I remember from that episode, the hairstyling.
Yeah, they were like cutting off people's hair. That's not hairstyling, so they didn't win.
They should have cut off more hair. She still had some hair on her head.
Outstanding prosthetic makeup as well for a series, for Hardhome, but they didn't win that.
Oh, so there's non-prosthetic and prosthetic as well, and the difference is the prosthetic then, probably.
Yeah, an outstanding single camera picture editing. They did win for Dance of Dragons, but they didn't win for Hardhome. And then we have 2 outstanding supporting actresses, and they both did not win. Emilia Clarke and Lena Headey were nominated.
That's Daenerys and Cersei, respectively.
Yes, and that's all of them. 12 wins and 12 nominations.
Okay, cool.
Pretty cool. Do we have anything else we want to talk about today? Or are we done with this episode?
We are done.
Season 6, we want you. Come quickly. Cheers.
Bye.
Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, yeah. Game of of Thrones, yeah, Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, yeah, Game of Thrones, yeah, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, yeah, Game of Thrones, yeah, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, yeah. Game of fucking Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones. There are swords and things doing lightning tricks, and they'll take you out if you try to beat them. They'll kill you and stop you and make you Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones. In the lightning they come to take on everyone, and you know it's the Game of fucking Thrones. Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of.
Vad sa du då? To the party.